Hello friends, Patrick here. We are going to have a quick chat about the Niagara real estate market. It's an update. So lots of talk about the pricing, that pricing's getting, there's a correction happening or pricing's coming down, that sort of thing. And so rather than throw out graphs and everything, we thought we would put together a quick video that explains what's happening with pricing, with sales volume, so the number of homes that sell, and the number of new listings. So those three pieces of the market. As we all remember, we've talked about a lot, the market was really cranking into a really solid spring market mid-March. NBA season's canceled, Tom Hanks and his wife test positive, we all get punched in the gut by COVID. The market for that next 6 weeks really just got ramped right down. It went on ice essentially, and now in May what we've seen is a thawing of the market as activity starts to return. So because the supply was reduced at the same time as sales, pricing is held, is a long story short. And we're going to get into that. We're going to go through it with you right now. So let's go. We're going to look at pricing, sales volume, number of new listings now. So one sidebar to this whole, this data we're going to put out. Today's June 1st, so there will still be some sales that get posted today because we have until midnight the next business day to post them, but more or less the numbers are in. So with pricing, Niagara, the average sale price for Niagara for year to date is sitting at around $496,000 for the first 5 months of 2020 versus the first 5 months of 2019. So that's an increase of 10.2%. So the year to date is up 10.2%. May 2020 is setting the highest single month average sale price on record at $508,000, $509,000, somewhere in that vicinity. Second and third place were February 2020 and March 2020, when the average sale price was at $501,000, $502,000. So again, that's big time. We've only ever cracked $500,000 average sale price in Niagara 3 times total. February this year, March this year, May of this year. So it's counterintuitive, right? In the middle of a pandemic of COVID to set an average sale price record, but that's exactly what's just happened. For St. Catharines, the average sale price record all time was February of this year at $465,000, and then we've had 3 or 4 other months in the low 450s, 451, 453, and that's what May has done. May's average sale price is sitting around $453,000. So year to date, St. Catharines is up about 9.9% at $455,000. So the average sale price year to date for St. Catharines up just under 10% to $455,000. And again, Niagara region as a whole up 10.2% to $496,000. So why is the pricing holding or going up? And it goes back to what we've talked about numerous times, where the total number of new listings came back significantly right along with sales. So again, everything was just kept here. Instead of sales, new listings piling up as buyers pulled back, all of a sudden then you have this glut of inventory. Buyers have 23 choices instead of 3 choices, and then you see prices come down. But that didn't happen because the supply came down. New listings were down 55%, right in line with sales being down 60%. So that's the story on pricing. So sales volume. Sales volume is the number of homes that change hands in a given month. So again, Niagara region and St. Catharines behaved very similar. April sales volume, whether it was here or in Toronto, Toronto was actually more. Their sales in the month of April were down 65 or 67%. So for Niagara, total number of sales in April were down 62%. St. Catharines the same, 62% for the month of April. So then we saw this sort of warming up in May where activity started to happen. So for the month of May in Niagara, total number of sales were down 38%. St. Catharines, total number of sales were down 44%. But to give you some context on how strong the market was coming into this, year to date, the total number of sales for Niagara are down 21%. So when you think about April down 62%, May down 44% or whatever, 40%, 2 of the heaviest spring market months being down that much, and year to date is only down 21%. That speaks to how strong the market was coming into this. Same goes for St. Catharines. Year to date, the total number of sales down 26%. So again, April down 62%, May down 44%, but still 26% for the year. So, are we going to see June where the sales are down? Now it's not 44%, it's down 25% or 20%. I don't know. It's tough to say what's going to happen. But if the trends continue, we might see that year-to-date total sales volume number, rather than being down 26%, after that, the first 6 months of the year, we might see it down 20%, down 18%. Who would have thought that's possible in April when we were down 62%? So that's the scoop on sales volume. And again, that's largely contributed in tandem with the number of new listings to maintaining the pricing. So that's sales volume. Now we're going to go last, the third category, which is number of new listings. Perhaps the single biggest factor in why pricing is held is the number of new listings supply. So if you were operating a restaurant and there was only 2 other restaurants on the street, then you have a bit more control of the market, because as a person who wants to go for dinner, you've only got those 3 options, versus you're a restaurant owner and there's 13 other places on the street. Now as a buyer or as a diner, I've got all these other choices. If you have 43 restaurants, well, all of a sudden, holy cow, what do you do? How do you compete in that environment? So sales were down in April 62%. Meanwhile, the number of new listings ran in tandem with that, down 55% for Niagara. So what we've seen in May is the number of sales aren't down as much, rather than being down 60% or down 40%. Same thing for number of new listings. So the number of new listings still down, but down by 42%, which is a change from being down 50, 55, 60%, right? So the same thing happened both in Niagara, down 44% for the month of May. Number of new listings in St. Catharines, down 48% for the month of May. And then so when you look at year to date, the same thing applies. St. Catharines, number of new listings year to date so far 2020, down 27% in comparison to the same time period in 2019. And then for the Niagara region, the number of new listings down 23% looking year over year. So again, when you think about the month of April, how everything just ground to a halt and there wasn't really a whole lot of for sale signs going out, to be only down 23% year to date, again speaks to the year as a whole. So as we go month by month, we're going to see those levels correct and be not so abrupt or shocking or alarming, I guess you could say. So that's the scoop. So you have new listings down 44%, 40% instead of 50 or 60. You have sales down 40%, 42% instead of 55, 60, 62%. And as a result, you have pricing that's holding or increasing in general. Now, the big caveat, asterisk should go right there, is you have to look at city by city, neighborhood by neighborhood, sometimes street by street. You have a place like Niagara-on-the-Lake that has Old Town and Virgil and St. David's and Niagara-on-the-Green. You have Niagara Falls, where you can have Niagara Falls, Mount Carmel, or the north end, the south end, St. Catharines, the south end, the west end, Jordan, Vineland. So when you look at one city, unless you have a good pool of data and some kind of time frame to put context to it, it doesn't hold as much weight. But this is the general info that we're seeing in Niagara, again, as a whole. So if you wanted info on your house, your neighborhood, your community, specific to where you're at, different conversation, same process, we can do it for you, no problem. Or if you have a realtor, they can do it for you as well. We're here, happy to help anytime. But that's the quick scoop on what's going on in Niagara as of June 1st. Hashtag it's June 2020. And we'll leave it at that. So hopefully this finds you well. If you have any questions, as we always say, you can reach out, you can comment, you can DM, text, fax, whatever works. Okay, guys, hope you're doing great. And we appreciate you checking it out and visiting and having a listen. So that's all. Take care. We'll see you. Bye-bye.